What up? It's a nice cool morning. I am actually doing my walk early in the AM. Get my blood circulating the right way. All of that. Anyway, not doing so good today. You know, depression and grief kicks ass. It does its job, and it does its job well. But we got to keep pushing. Today, the grief video I'm going to speak on is when I went back home once my dad passed. And I'm talk a little bit about those issues, how things happened and what happened. And y'all stay tuned because it's definitely a fun fact. I missed my flight on the way to Ohio from Florida. It wasn't my fault. It was all Spirit's fault. But I missed it, so I had to wait. I'm starting with that. So I had to wait another day. And then I flew with who I regularly fly with, which is Southwest. And if anybody doesn't know how the weather is in the Midwest during the months of September to May, it's effed up. You get all the seasons in one day. Like literally all the seasons in one day. This happened to be in March. I've been in Florida off and on for a long time. I don't have a coat. You see, I'm in a hoodie now, and it's not even cold. I just don't want to get sick. I mean, yeah, I take vitamins and all that other stuff, but the wind's blowing. I usually wear short sleeve shirts. I'm not going out like that. So, yeah, I'm getting back. Here's another thing. Now that I've had time to really think about it and process this part, I knew that she probably just thought that I wanted something. I'm staring because that didn't make sense, and I am not going to use any bad words. So anyway, before I even get there, I text my grandmother and I'm like, hey, put a coat up for me. You got to think it's common sense. As much as y'all ass want me to come up there and come visit when you coming back home and all this blah, 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 other BS, common sense will tell you, hey, let me get my grandson a coat. Hey, let me get my nephew a coat. Hey, let me get my brother a coat, etc., etc. I'm not asking you to buy me a coat. One, unfortunately, there were two people that actually just died. It could have been some type of hoodie or something. Not my thin-ass hoodies. But anyway, that's how it went. I asked for a coat to be put up for me. And I'm pretty sure it got taken that, hey, put me up a coat. No, that's not the thing. I'm not real big on materialistic stuff. Especially after somebody just died. That I was really trying to find out what was going on for real. How did my dad die? So that's, I might as well say that now. Let me get into that. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to get into not pretty much that situation because it's still triggering. And I didn't ask, get me a coat like that. I didn't even text it that way. I actually asked for one, but that's just the way it came out today. So when I asked how my dad died, my grandmother looked me in the eye and said he couldn't handle it anymore. He was just too stressed. And gonna tell me a bold-faced lie like that. He couldn't handle life anymore. He was just too stressed. My dad has had gray hairs all my life. I am 36 years old. I have never known my dad to, I'm not gonna say not stress. I've never known my dad to not stress. I've always seen him stressed. So now he just decides to die. Bull. Malarkey. I'm going to get back to the topic, but yeah, I had to just share that. I'd rather share it in a spur of the moment versus me actually really breaking that down just yet. It's triggering. So I switch it up when I get back home. I've always done this. There's reasons for that. I'd rather just pop up. Here's why. My first year of coming back from college, which I came damn near every break. The first 2-3 years of me being in Florida, I came every break. Not one person came to my particular location to come visit me besides my cousin. He actually came down. They lived in Jacksonville. So, I mean, I'm grateful, but it wasn't like they came from Ohio or any of that. My nigga, you live, excuse my language, but you live 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 at the most, depending on who's driving. Jacksonville is not a far ride from where I lived at that time. I will always get those messages, or not even messages, they would just be phone calls. When you coming back home? This, and that. And the minute I get to Columbus and I'm sending text messages out, I'm here, just to say I made it, not where I'm going to be at, not what I'm going to be doing. And if you've flown before, like you flew on a plane, you know it can be exhausting, especially if you have like allergies, sinuses, you get those headaches and that little, that's a whole nother story. But my phone would ring, like literally ring, like crazy. Like I couldn't pull out my phone to make a phone call. Literally, if my phone is ringing so much, even when I stop it to hit ignore to try to make a phone call for a ride, whatever. And this is before really like Uber was popping like that. So we would still call to, hey, I'm here, I need a ride, whatever. I couldn't even use my phone. Now I'm gonna get back to the story. So like, this is why I do what I do anytime I get back to the city. If you know me, you know. So my brother picks me up from the airport. He's already upset at me. I got into a situation to where I didn't make his wedding. I was supposed to be in his wedding. I apologize. I get it. I understand the upset, the hurt, and all of that. I completely understand. In my defense, now, I don't give a F. I don't care. Did I care then? Yeah, I really did. I was really apologetic and all of that. I really cared with the passion. Now, I don't give a damn. I'm not the person to go back and forth for any of that. Like, you know what it is. Any of y'all, whatever, you know what it is. Yeah, I had to add that though. But my brother comes and picks me up, and he get out the car. We make eye contact. That's my little brother. Love him regardless. And I go up to him and I hug him. I'm still in disbelief. Now, mind you, if you watch the video, y'all know my brother found my dad. So again, that could be a very messed up experience. But I hug him, it's my brother, put my stuff in the car. Mind you, it's cold as hell. And just keep it pushing. We go to my grandma's crib. I don't even tell her I'm there yet. He doesn't either. Because that's how you got to do it. Okay. Now this part, it gets real. I have to pause for a second because now I got to do my breathing, my meditation, because it's about to get super real. But like I said, my brother picks me up. We go to my grandmother's house, and it's just nothing but gaslighting. As soon as I go over there, I walk in the crib. Well, not as soon as I go over there. I walk in the crib. I see my grandmother. We hug. She's screaming and crying, which she usually does because I always surprise her. Because my phone constantly rings. But again, I look just like my dad. I sound just like him. So, of course, she did all the crying, and then I see the jealousy in people's eyes, and I can feel the vibe. So that was kind of funny, but about to get into something so damn real. Once I cross the street and get back to my neighborhood. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little breather because this story gets deep, and this will probably be like one of my longest videos, but I'll be right back. So the first, man, I'm very good at reading people. I can read energy. I can read spirits. Sometimes what I see I don't like. I ain't got no control over it. I got control over myself and my aura and all that. But I started to see the energy shift like 5 minutes being at my grandma's crib. Literally. It turned into like a reality show. So many people just wanted attention. At one point in time, it's like I felt like a trophy. Wait till you see this person. I don't care about seeing them. I ain't been talking to them. I don't care who they were. Aunts, cousins, uncles. I don't care. My sister stopped by. I have two sisters. One of them stopped by. It was her birthday weekend. She was going to Cincinnati. Um, I kind of felt a certain way about that, but hey, she been around. I've completely been out the whole family loop. My brother was doing his soap opera thing because he was already mad at me. And now I'm gonna get back to y'all. Like I said, this gets deep. I had to really sit and like meditate how I'm gonna let this flow. So like I said, my sister comes over, she leaves. My aunt is sitting there on the porch. Like at this time we just sitting on the porch. So like it's been so many people that came in and out. Now mind you, like I understand my grandfather had just passed. So it was people coming to pay their respects and all of that. I completely get that. I overstand that. But it was just so much fakeness. Cause I can't go into like super details. You just gotta continue to pay attention to what's in store, because I got a lot of stuff coming. But from that point on, there was business that was already been handled. One of my uncles, not by blood, by fake love, my dad, he gaslit me like crazy. Said there were certain things that needed to be handled that was already handled. Why lie? Like that makes no sense. I rode with my brother to go get his wife and do something else. I think we went and got something to eat. I believe so. I believe that's exactly how it went. My little brother is like very, look at me. He had to go and change clothes. I'm ready to find out what happened. Like at this point, that's what I really want to know. I don't care about seeing this person, visiting this person. I don't care. I have not been talking to y'all because I've been getting myself together mentally, physically, and spiritually. I detached because I wanted to stay away from the BS. I did not expect to come home and deal with any of this. Later that evening, more people come over, doing the fake church hug, and all my stuff is genuine. But I may not deal with a lot of people, family included. If I rock with you, I rock with you. If I don't, I don't. There's no love lost. I'm at a different place in my life, and that's how I was feeling. One of my cousins was over there. She ended up calling her son, and I talked to her son. Like, I wasn't ready for that. Like, why is all these people being pushed up on me? And none of y'all asked me, how you doing? I'm sorry to hear about your dad, blah, 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 blah. None of this is going on. But look at this person. This is why I said it turned into a reality show. My brother just continues to bring up his wedding and all of this. Oh yeah, I just spoke to him yesterday talking about our dad. Yeah, he called me even on my honeymoon, like trying to throw it in my face like I really cared. If y'all see this, my other phone's about to fall. I didn't give a fuck at all. Like I didn't care. My mind was already made up. That was naturally. But I didn't care at all. I wanted to know how this man died. What's going on? There's more. I have a cousin that's a nurse. That's like the go-to person. And she told me, my dad's dead. Mind you, my dad's dead. The first thing she said to me was, oh, Jason's sister. If y'all remember, I mentioned my cousin Jason that lives in Jacksonville came to see me. Me and him were somewhat close. She texted me, or no, she didn't text me. She told me this in the midst of all this BS. Oh, my brother's mad at you. I don't give a damn. My dad just died. Like, what? Why should I care? Even if my dad was living and I was just chilling, Jason got my number. Leave a message. At the end of the day, Jason wasn't mad. I called and chopped it up with him, with the whole situation about his fake ass sister and fake ass mama, all of that. It was nothing. But anyway, more gaslighting. Like, I'm going to just fast forward it because I'm not going to put in every single detail, but I am going to tell you all a lot. At the end of the day, me and my brother was out in the front yard and I was about to knock his head off. I was about to, like, it was just a lot to keep me from breaking his jaw. He was getting like super emotional, hollering and all. Like, I get it. You experienced something that you did not want to experience. We both lost our dad. You feel a certain way, I feel a certain way. I'm more nonchalant with a lot of things. I'm very numb to a lot of things. So, like, all that, doing that back and forth and stuff like that, like, this is a part of why me and him don't talk, because I don't do stuff for attention. Like, that was like I'm not real soft. He was being very soft. Like, just soft. It was just, that was irritating. The next day, we were supposed to be planning the arrangements. I felt so left out. Even my dad's aunt was like, don't let me see you isolate yourself like that anymore. I felt so left out. Like, they were planning it. It got to the point, I'm going to make a whole new video for this, but it got into a point where I said something to my grandma, and it's going to go like this. I told my grandmother, I said, you know what? However y'all going to do it, just do it. That's how, like, bad I felt left out. It's people coming over that I know my dad didn't talk to like that. I mean, I know he spoke with them. They talked, they chopped it up, but he didn't talk to half. I'm not going to say half. He didn't talk to them like that. But again, you got to follow the money. I didn't find out how much my dad's funeral was going to cost till the day before I left. We going to get into that. The crazy thing is, I could actually afford that. Like, seriously, I could actually afford that. I have to get, I can't even say that yet because this video will not be what it's intended to be if I jump too fast. But everybody was just saying, oh, it should be this Bible verse, we should do this, we should do that. Like, just fakeness. One of my uncles, solid. Like, certain things that he did, I don't rock with, but I appreciate him for doing that. Because he basically took me away. He came and kidnapped me. We went over a couple people's houses. We chilled. Now, mind you, this whole time feels so unreal. My dad's gone. So unreal. It's been a couple days. I actually needed to break that down. The last recording was about 2 days ago. And I was talking about the funeral arrangements and the prices, and mentioning how one of my uncles actually took me away to get away from a lot of that, because there was a lot of BS going on. Well, I'm going to fast forward to, I mentioned about me and my brother getting into it. Really, it wasn't us getting into it. It was just, to me, he was doing a lot for attention. And I understand he's still grieving, but I know my brother is like super dramatic. And you see how I am. I'm very laid back. I'm like that with everybody. Like, I'm an equal opportunist. Everybody gets treated the same. I don't care if I'm mad, happy, upset. I don't care who you are. Equal opportunist. I'll be back. So, I don't remember which evening this actually was, but it's still going to flow. Like, everything is pretty much, this is the order that it happened in. One of my cousins, the cousin that I mentioned, she said, oh, Jason mad at you. That one, I guess I don't know. One of those things that I was about to mention was completely irrelevant. But her and my aunt was in the kitchen. Now, mind you, Their names rhyme. They're, in a way, they're like sisters. How I said me and Jason is super close, they're that way, but females. So you know how females can be in their emotions. And this is, again, I'm an equal opportunist. If you're a female, you know you're emotional. You know you deal with the emotions different than men. So they deal with things a little bit differently. Can't say they're chatty patties because nowadays men are chatty patties. So I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna come back with y'all. I'm talking to my grandmother in the living room. Now, mind you, the whole entire time there was no me and my grandmother sitting talking, any of that. It was basically, if I'm sitting talking to her, there's somebody in the other room. There's, so like, there was no privacy, there was no boundaries. And I get it. She just lost her husband and she just lost her son. But you would think, anyway, no, you wouldn't. I don't put nothing past anybody. So they just come back and forth, coming back and forth, coming back and forth from the kitchen to the living room, kitchen to the living room. Their conversation, I can tell they're wanting me to say something, but that's one of the another ways that I've known that I've grown, because I wanted to spaz and go off, but what for? You got to pick your battles. I'm about to come back because I'm gonna say something that was kind of funny and also irritating. I have these rubber bands on because I was wrapping them around books, like actual books. And of course, this is for my hair. Okay, so we had a. That was. Okay, yep, so that was Sunday. Okay, so Saturday. Everybody was. At the end of the day, everybody was trying to see how long I was going to be there, et cetera, et cetera. Because like I said, I've been detaching. I've been hitting my cut, staying away from everybody. I didn't go to my grandfather's funeral. I wasn't participating in my brother's wedding. If you are questioning it now, you have to go back and watch it. I'm about to re-explain that. So Saturday, it's pretty much me and my grandmother sitting in the living room, and my aunt. She's coming back and forth. Hold up. I was gonna stay for a little bit, but my aunt, and she's like in her 40s. For her to act like a damn 13-year-old, which is younger than her oldest child, actually to really act like a freaking 5-year-old, almost her grandchild's age. She just kept on, like, she did a lot of gaslighting. She was fake. One thing about me, I may have not shown up when everybody wanted me to show up, but I wasn't fake. All my stuff was genuine. If I said I wasn't showing up, it was for a reason. If I said I wasn't going to do this, it's because not everybody wants to be saved. Some people want to go back to their runt and do the same things that they were doing before. I love my little cousin. Unfortunately, he passed. Who was he with? Who was he hanging with? What was he doing? The people that he was around. Common sense. I'll be back. I had to add that because that, I'm going to see how it breaks down too. So my aunt's coming back and forth, coming back and forth. And I'm like letting my grandmother know, I don't know how long I'm going to be staying as of right now. I'll be here till Tuesday. Then at least I know, since y'all already planned everything, we can set up and see for, okay, I'll be back this day, for the, like, the funeral and stuff. Because one, it was too cold. I didn't have no coat. I wasn't going to stay. And y'all already know I already asked for a coat. So my aunt's coming back and forth and she says something and she goes by the door. And I'm like, and I point to her and I said, that's exactly why I'm leaving. I said, that's why I'm not staying here. She wanted that reaction. So she go in my grandfather's room. It's not her room. She go in my grandfather's room and shut the door. Who are you loyal to? And I get it. My aunt was basically consoling, however you want to say that. My grandmother, like, she's by her side. I'm in Florida. They're both in Ohio. So she go back and forth in the room, I guess, saying stuff to her, and then she come back and she try to console me and comfort me and just like, oh, you know how they are and da da da. Cut the BS. If you came in and said that to me, would you go in and say that to her? Oh, he just gonna be here for a couple more days? You cannot, you can't fool a spiritual person or a person with discernment in general. You cannot fool us. So of course, like I said, there's like me and my grandmother didn't have that time where we was able to sit down. So we just chilling. We partaking in what we partake in. We just chilling. And like past that, I don't remember our conversation. But the next day, like I said, that was Saturday. That Sunday, I was with my uncle again. And they were going to have like a balloon thing. Like my dad was a lot of things, but my dad was a football coach. He coached a lot of kids. And my dad was respected by a lot of people. But like, you know how they have the balloon thing and everybody's there. So they had that at his house. I'm going to fast forward to pretty much what happened. I'm really waiting on my little cousin. Like my little cousin. It was at one point in time, it was just us two. And even when my brother and sister were born, it was still just us two at one point in time. That doesn't make anything better, but like that's how it was, and that was the relationship that was going on. I'll be back. I was waiting on her, one, because I haven't seen her son. I'm just seeing like videos and FaceTimes, but never like really seen him. Two, my dad actually, it was weird because family can't hold water, and that's another reason why I stay to myself. If I tell somebody something and it gets around, I know who I told. Some people so dumb that they don't know, and they just, like I said, they can't hold water. If I tell you something, I know what I told you, how I told you, and when I told you. So no matter if it gets misconstrued and all of that, I can get to the root of it. I learned that. So anyway, it went around that she was pregnant. My dad was really the one that told me. But and I was surprised because she basically was parenting her siblings for her whole entire life, the way my aunt did me. But not the whole entire life. But so I get it. I just didn't think that she would have kids. But anyway, I was waiting on her and her son to come. And now, mind you, I'm just walking back and forth, peeping everything, and I'm seeing it from a different level. I'm seeing it from the flesh, and I'm seeing it from the spiritual aspect of things. It was all a lot of fake love and a lot of BS. And still, at the end of the day, I'm trying to find out what happened to my dad. To be honest, that's really what I want to find out. Still outside with my Amazon jacket. I'm gonna show you what I had, because I have it somewhere. I'm gonna show y'all what I had so y'all know what I was facing in that Ohio weather. And I live in Florida now. I'll be back. All right, so this is March, beginning of March, but it's still basically the winter time. It wasn't higher than 50 degrees. I know that. The whole time that I was there, one of the days, my first and second day, it even snowed. But the sun came out, so the snow melted. But it was still cold. Now, mind you, I live in Florida. In March, it's spring break. We damn near summer. It's only cold, cool, pretty much November, December, January, February. But I had on this. You can hear how thin that is. Not see. Yeah, of course you can see it, but you can also hear. This is thinner than a windbreaker. This is made by Amazon. This is a raincoat. A good one, but this is a raincoat. But this is what I had to keep myself warm. So anyway, I see a car just pulling up, and like my instincts, I just have different instincts. So I'm looking like, why are they driving like that? But of course they have to know my dad or somebody over here. So the car stops, and she gets out the car, and she's getting her son. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's my little cousin. Like my little sister in a way. That's my little cousin that died. That's his oldest sister. So I'm seeing her get her son out of the car, and I'm like, wow, just wow. And then I turn to the left, and actually, nope. It didn't go that way. I'm going to rewind that, because yes, I did turn to the left, but that was afterwards. I chop it up with her for a little bit, and then I'm like, I got to go real quick. something in my spirit just told me to go. And she like, no, don't go, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Nene. Didn't want to say that, but sometimes it just come out. But like y'all really know, unless y'all really know me. I said, let me go. When I say that, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to do it anyway. My mind's made up, whether it's good or bad, a gray area, whatever. If I say let me go or I'm gone, I'm going to do this, it's what I mean. I was standing on business before it was a thing. And I walked off. I walked around the corner. I'll be back. I walked around the corner and I start talking to my dad. I start asking the universe, what should I do? I like let my dad know I'm missing. I'm sorry. That I didn't speak to him before he passed. Cause like I said, I didn't speak to my dad before he passed. Everybody else did. It was some months that passed. So that was that. I come back. And I didn't look to the left. I'm coming back and I'm walking straight and I see my godfather. My godfather, big as hell. Like he's not like not weight wise, but he's tall and like stocky. And I'm looking at him. And if you've been paying attention to these grieving videos, y'all know my godfather was the one that texted me and said, call your father or call your dad. He loves and misses you. And me being prideful, like I said before, I'm like, nah, he got my number. But I see him and we make eye contact and I either say, well, no, I say, what's up, godfather? That's how I talk to him. So I'm like, what's up, godfather? And we dap up and I hug him. I'll be back because this has got to be its own video. Now I understand what happened because I got deeper into that knowledge. But when I went around the corner and I asked the universe what was I was supposed to do, and when I apologized to my dad and I came back and I seen my godfather and everything just was in line for this moment. So I'm hugging him and I'm saying, Pops love all his kids. Excuse me. Let me rewind before I even continue to go on. The spirit of my dad is coming through me and saying, Pops love all his kids. All his kids. And I'm screaming it like I know. My dad's spirit is screaming it. I know for a fact. Like I have chills right now. I'm not trying to stunt, like show off my tattoos or none. I'm not doing this for the gram. None of this. I honestly don't want to do it. I gotta go back. I got sidetracked, yo. But which is good because I probably would have stopped. I'll be back though. So my dad's spirit is screaming, Pops loves all his kids. All his kids. Look at us. Look at us. Pops loves all his kids. He loves all his kids. Like I'm going. My dad is going ham. And I'm hugging. Now this is me hugging my godfather. Now mind you, this might go over a lot of people's heads. Some people are going to get this. But my godfather could see, and he probably was the only one that really could see it. He could see my dad's spirit in me. Like we made eye contact and I can hear and feel him. Cause he's not religious, but he goes to church, he read the Bible, all that. But he has I'm not gonna get into that, but he could feel me and I could feel him. Like at this point in time, it's like our spirits are one because he was consoling me because at that point in time, it was me. I was just, at that time, that's when I was crying. I never cried. Now, mind you, I went down there a couple days later, or went up there a couple days later, but this is my first time crying. I didn't cry at all until I seen him, until I seen my little cousin. I'm not going to pause. I'm going to keep going because I'm almost done, and I want to wrap this up so I can release my cousin's video first and then this one. Almost done, y'all. It's going to be probably, like I said, one of the longest videos. All right, that was that. Then you know how everybody talks and does their thing, and before the balloons release, Some of the people I didn't know who the hell they were. I just knew they was cool with my dad. Some of them I did know, but not all of them I talked to and all that. But anyway, they was there for the respect of my dad, for the love of my dad. I appreciate them for being there. My grandma sitting down. She's holding this picture. I say what I say to him. Now, I have an aunt that, like her and my grandma and a couple of my cousins used to party and all of that. She says all this. Who says this at a Bloom releasing about the person's mother? Oh yeah, she used to do drugs and this, and but we gonna pray. What the hell does that have to do with my dad? That's talking about my grandmother. It's funny. It's funny now. But when I was looking at her, I said, "You're doing this for attention." Like my godfather just prayed. He did his thing. That's what he does. We didn't need your word. We didn't need that. We didn't care. But it's the way life goes, man. Just thought about it because a lot of this is wrote down, but I wanted to deliver it differently. Like I didn't want to chop up the video and do all of this. How it's coming out is how you have to get it, because not everybody shares their grief and their depression and their anxiety of these things, especially in my culture. Black people. Shoot, black people really don't even get therapy. Like it's crazy. Not all. Some of us do. I'm gonna step back. I had a sidetrack. Actually, no. I'm gonna keep it going because I got a little bit of time. So, like I said, I'm gonna fast forward on a couple things. I'm going to fast forward to the next day, which was that Monday, and that's when we were going to find out far as the cost. So before we go, of course, we're waiting on my aunt, my dad's sister. If you know her, you know she's just late. It is what it is. She's just late. So we're waiting on her because we have to go down the street to the funeral place. Once we do get in the car, it's like I said, it's hella gaslighting. She's talking about far as, because I guess like she's seen me drive and she knows how I drive. So she's, we do the speed limit, blah, 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 blah. All this unnecessary BS. Like, and then this is how I know certain people read my book. And I'm not upset. No, I was upset at it at first because it's just like, pay for it. You'll buy all this other BS. Pay for the book. Support me. Y'all just reading it to be nosy. But it is what it is. But she's saying different things. Again, gaslighting me, getting up under my skin or trying to get up under my skin. But that's neither here or there. So I'm just like, drive. I don't care how you drive. I'm not driving. I'm not in Florida. Anyway. So we drive down Cleveland Avenue, and we get to the funeral place. It's about to get real. I don't know. It depends. Some people say juicy. Some people say good. It's nerve-wracking for me. We get to the funeral spot, and she's telling me that the dude that shot my little cousin, they have to go to court tomorrow. Because at this point, I'm telling everybody that I'm leaving that Tuesday. I was fed up. So we get there, and that's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about. And I'm like planning, well, they already planned it, but trying to get more information about my dad. My grandma's getting the death certificate of my grandfather and of him. My uncle, by love, my dad's friend, he pulls up. And I asked him, does he need a mask? And he said, I have one. And then he's doing this chuckle, this like some bull. Now, mind you, my aunt is still talking to me about that. Like, I understand your son was shot. At this time, my little cousin's living. My dad's dead. Why are we talking about this? This lady, I gotta stop. Not my aunt, but you'll get the next video. This lady, one of the funeral ladies, she comes out and she's like, Basically, this is what she says. Anybody who's doing another funeral or another funeral arrangements, you can go into the Obama room. Talking about me, because I asked, can I look at my dad? Can I also get my death certificate? Well, his death certificate. That was said to me. So at this time, I'm pissed. I just walk right out. I like to hell with them. I walk out. I walk out. I'm gonna break this one down because I gotta calm down because that pissed me off. That's still a trigger because that was so effed up to me. That was so effed up to me. Y'all planned it already. Just said F me. And then get to the funeral home and the lady's like, oh, if you have other arrangements, you can go in the other room. By law, it's supposed to be his children. I don't care if you the mom. I get it. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no us. But it's what family does to you when they hurt. Hurt people. Unless you heal yourself, you're going to continue to hurt people. I'm thankful I'm healing. It still hurts. Let me get back, though. Definitely took some time, like a couple days since the last time I actually recorded my last recording. And I'm still pretty much piecing them all together. The last recording that I mentioned was when we all went to the funeral place, and the lady was saying if there's basically a different party, we can meet in the Obama room and you guys can handle your business. Basically separating my uncle, my dad's friend. Yeah, he's not my real uncle. I've learned to, anyway, of course it's still a trigger. But him, my aunt, which is my dad's sister, his first sister, the one I've been telling y'all about, my grandmother and myself. Here we go. So once she said that, I looked at my aunt because she was still talking about how the person that shot my little cousin, their court date was the next day, that Tuesday. And now, mind you, this was just some crazy stuff. Everybody was wanting to know when I was leaving. It wouldn't have been that Tuesday until I found, pretty much we went to the funeral home, because I did not get my ticket yet at all. Now, once she just kept on being in my ear, we're supposed to be planning my dad's funeral and all this, and you talking about, you are completely left field, not comforting, not like, just completely left field, gossiping about some BS. So right then in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. I got to get from around y'all because I have to consider how I feel and if I'm going to get myself in some trouble. I've came a long way to just go back. I come too far to just go back and just smack people, beat people up. Like, I've come a long way. I've always been to myself, I'm not like very confrontational unless like really comes and I have to defend myself. But still, I don't want to be this hoorah and all that and just going off. No, so I had to leave the next day. But you know I'm about to come back. Point, I just say this. So I'm not able to see my dad because I was told that, hey, we got to go. I was just told that we got to do certain things. And those things were already done. And I live in a complete different state. So some things were going to be done. But how they went about doing it and communicating. And then this is the crazy thing. Like I said in the other video, Columbus is big and small. If you're from there, small. Everybody know everybody, damn near. So when you see somebody that knows me, a friend of a friend, etc., why you looking for me? Y'all should know I don't F with y'all. Even my first week being back from all of that. And this is when I was like, I made a new Facebook page because I was actually going to continue to reach out weekly. Continue, communicate the stuff that people say they're going to do when somebody dies. And 85% of them don't continue to do it, as far as the family and love and all that. So right before I deleted that whole entire page, I said I got people that I used to see every day and family that I love that I'm never going to talk to again. I guess they thought I was playing. one of my mom's sisters, well, she doesn't live there. My cousins live there now. They live like a block away. I know I didn't check to see if they were home, but I just had a feeling that they were home. So it was either go there or go to my mom's, which was probably like 3 or 4 more blocks away. Cold as hell, but if I'd had to walk over there, I'd just had to walk over there. But I'm thankful that my cousin was home, her and her kids, and I call her brother, and he tell me, okay, I'll come and get you from where you at. And at the time he was busy, so I wasn't about to stop him. I wanted to go get my stuff from my dad's friend's house anyway. It's starting to rain. Oh well, it is what it is. I wanted to go get my stuff anyway, so I spent so much damn money on Uber up there. Oh my gosh. And if they had just left me the hell alone and let me get my own hotel and my own rental car, and like I would have still went through it, but I would have not have done any of this. But anyway, I caught an Uber back to my dad's friend's house, got my stuff, and just bounced. I didn't say bye to nobody. I went to my cousin's crib. We chopped it up, of course. He made me laugh. That's what he do. It's really starting to rain. I thought it was just going to drizzle and all that, so I'm probably going to come back in a second. Chilling out with my cousin for a little bit. And sometimes, sometimes you got people that like to text, you like people that like to speak on the phone, you like people that don't like neither. I'm not a big phone person. Maybe my teenage years and all that, yeah, but I've never really been a big phone person. Let's talk about what we need to talk about and we can get off the phone. Like period, point blank. Even when I was a teenager, that was pretty much, let's talk about what we need to talk about and we can get off the phone. I don't want to sit and be on the phone, unless you a girl. At that time. Now I don't care about that, none of that at all. The texting, I'll text you here and there, but I am like D&D king. I will put my phone in do not disturb in a heartbeat and just be chilling and check it when I need to check it. And I've noticed that in the grieving process. I've really done that. But I'm getting back to what I was saying. I start writing some stuff, and let me put you on game to what I was writing. But as you know, it's gonna stop, and I gotta piece it together how I've been doing it until I get the rest of my camera and my recording program. But I am in no rush, because these are, of course, authentic stories. Like, shit, excuse me, it's not even no story. This is like what happened. I'll be back. I start writing the notes, like in the iPhone. I start putting notes and just breaking everything down piece by piece, because at this time I'm like, man, it's unfortunate, but I know I'm not going to my dad's funeral, because all of this is some BS how it happened. And you know how it's usually that family member that turn up and go off, and maybe that was needed. Now that I think about that, maybe that was really needed. But again, I've come so far, and every day, like, I really feel like I'm breaking down. My spirit's breaking down more. I'm getting more tired. But that would have just been, my intentions would have just been to go and do that. I wasn't having that. So I write damn near everybody a short letter, pretty much the farewell letter, letting you know that I do not rock with you. I may love you, but I will probably never talk to you again. Literally everybody, my grandmother, my aunt, my cousin, my sisters, my brother, like pretty much damn near everybody. I just start writing them text messages. I send my grandma's. She got it. And of course she did her manipulation, which she always does, and I end up over there. But this is the Monday before I leave. I didn't even order my ticket yet. I was going to stay some more, but let me get into what I'm like. This gets crazy. So when I get to my grandma's, because she's one of the queen manipulation. I'm not saying anything bad about her. Like this, I've learned in my life that some people just do certain things, and that's who they are, and we have to learn to accept that. And you don't necessarily have to forgive. You can forgive, but you gotta learn how to continue to move on with life. As hard as that's going to be, I've learned that a lot in the grieving process. And it's been people that, yes, I forgave, but I'm still not talking to you. It is what it is. But I go over there. We talking. My sister. This is a key point. It's crazy because I have a feeling that my sister, she knew, like, that was it for me. She knew I wasn't coming back. She knew, because she works third shift. So she like, you want me to go over there? I'm like, I want you to get your rest, but yes, I kind of want you to go over there because I'm not going to see you again. I didn't say that, but I said that. She goes over there. We chopping it up. My aunt's still being her. Like, she's too old to want to be the center of attention. Like, I know I was born when you were like 10 years old. You didn't grow up the way that a person should grow up. None of us did. But for you to act the way you acted, like, anyway, my grandma chopping it up. I'm watching everything around the house, how things are done. And I'm just like, I got to leave. Like, I can't. My aunt's still doing her narcissistic, all types of, like, just, and I'm glad I know what all of that is now. And I'm glad it happened at the age that I was. Because if that would have happened when I was younger, I don't know how I would have dealt with any of that. But at that point, like, my aunt, I don't know, I still wanted to be up under her. That's my aunt. So I had way more than this. This is actually trimmed down. But I had, like, she just started to braid it. And I mentioned something, and she's like, I guess everybody comes out with their truth. And, like, it was very, very sarcastic. And I'm like, just thinking in my head, you all gotta stop sending these little shots. Say it directly. But I'm not one of them internet people, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna say any of that BS. I'm gonna come to your face. Or you gonna get, like, that note how you got? That was just a warning. I ain't doing no more notes. So if there's an issue and all of that, things could be handled the way they need to be handled. Sorry, I'm listening to my watch because I do my walk and all that. It gets my blood rate and all that, and blood pressure. I'll be back. So then I had another trigger. I'm like, all right, let me get my ticket. Go straight on Southwest, start ordering. And now, mind you, this is early in the morning. This is probably like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just tired, just fed up, and I get my ticket. Before I walked out the door, my grandma says, and it probably was somewhat genuine, but when you can't fool a spiritual person or a person that's walking in a certain walk, we put a lot of work to get like this, to better ourselves. Some of us can see right through the BS, and I was able to. So are you coming back? I said, it's a possibility. I don't know. And I walked out. I haven't seen my grandmother since then. It's going on 2 years. I haven't talked to her in almost a year, which in 5 days, my little cousin will be gone for a year. That's going to be the next video. All right. I'm proud of myself because that took a lot. I usually write those things down. I'd rather it be like this than it come out like this. If you watched it the whole time, definitely appreciate it. What do they say? Hit that like and subscribe button. I mean, it's much appreciated. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You don't. Definitely share. That'll be appreciated because a lot of people go through this when someone in their family dies. Everybody grieves. Everybody's going to grieve a particular different way. I also have blogs online, pretty much talking about my life, my depression, things that I've been through. This is not a easy journey at all. Everybody goes through something in life, and it doesn't get any easier. They say time heals wounds. No, it does not. Time doesn't heal your wounds. Time is to show you how to continue on and move on and live without that person that you lost. You can even grieve people that's living, especially if you separated yourself because you want better. I went through that phase too. Still learning how to maneuver around that phase. But appreciate it. Stay tuned to the next one. I make blogs and vlogs about grieving, depression, anxiety, and I really do it for my community. I'm not talking about the community that I'm in and I'm walking in right now. I'm talking about the community that I grew up in, like urban areas. It doesn't matter your nationality, it doesn't matter your color, like color, race, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We all grieve. We all have anxiety. And some of us are depressed, some of us are not. And in our community, it doesn't get brought up. After the funeral, a lot of people don't do therapy. You're speaking to somebody that's currently in therapy, that's dealing with depression, that's grieving back to back deaths and still moving on with life. This is not easy. And like I said, not a lot of people from my community even talk about it. Sometimes those feelings get buried. And sometimes it's not taught. Like those things, not everybody teaches, hey, this is how you grieve. This is what happened. Sometimes we don't understand death until we are of age and adults. Some have kids, some already don't, but we don't understand it yet. Sometimes it's not processed. And we could have been around it all our lives. Like the first person that died was my mom's dad. And I was about 5 years old. I didn't understand it, but I understood it, if that makes sense. Let me say it like this. I understood it, but I didn't overstand it or understand it. But that's why I do these. That's why I have a whole page of just grieving, depression, and anxiety. I share it for the people who hide it or don't know how to share it or who's scared to share it. We out here.